is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No.
Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. We have a more than expected here on the panel. We have our British insider here, Stephanie Jones. Thank you for joining us. As you guys can see, Steph's wearing black, of course, mourning Queen Elizabeth II, who died yesterday. We all are wearing versions of teal for ovarian cancer awareness, which we will bring up later in the show. Well, what a difference a day makes. Check this out. King Charles and his wife Camilla, now known as the Queen Consort, returned to Buckingham Palace earlier today. Wow. He then went out and greeted, even comforted, all the thousands of people who had turned out to pay their respects to the Queen. Charles will be giving his first speech as king in just a bit. Britain has now begun a period of national mourning, with long lines of people waiting to lay flowers for the Queen at Buckingham Palace. In Hyde Park in central London today, there was this 96-gun salute to the Queen. That gives me chills. President Biden ordered flags flown at half-staff across the nation today, while all across the globe tributes are pouring in for the Queen. The president and his wife visited the British Embassy in Washington, D.C., where he delivered flowers and did sign a condolence book. Now, believe it or not, there is an elaborate plan in place for this 10-day period of mourning and transition in England. I went deep into this yesterday. It's called Operation London Bridge, and it includes the royal funeral and the ascension of a new monarch. To help break it all down for us, we're joined by our very own, as I said, British insider Stephanie Jones. Thank you so much for being here. And again, we're very sorry for what has occurred.
Thank you, Tori.
Absolutely.
And I think the question that everyone wants to know the answer to is, what do we expect to hear from King Charles today?
So first of all, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for your condolences.
Absolutely.
I was here yesterday, and I'll be honest, looking back now, I think I was really discombobulated because I was like, what has just happened? And I was actually really in shock.
Yeah.
And I think the whole of the United Kingdom are in mourning right now, as is King Charles. And I think the fact that he has rushed back down to London with the Queen Consort Camilla, he's already addressing the public. I mean, already it's just showing us what an amazing leader he's going to be. He is comforting our people, and he's just lost his own mother. Like, let's take her title aside for a moment. He has just lost the most important female figure in his life, and he's comforting other people. So I think this is a sign of things to come from Charles. I think his speech is going to be absolutely incredible. We saw him with the most brilliant speech at her Jubilee earlier this year, and I think it's literally a stepping stone for him to rise to this next level, which he's been waiting for and training for his entire life.
Wow. He's like 70, am I right, 73?
Yes.
Wow.
He is, yeah.
Wow.
Well, you did a great job yesterday, Steph. You're doing a great job today. Thanks for being here. Talk to us about the royal funeral. We saw a lot of things that are already remembering the Queen. What do they have in store in the next couple of days?
Okay, so this is going to be a long period now that we see the Queen transitioning from where she is up in Scotland. She's going to be at a palace where she's going to be laid to rest for a few days. She will then be transferred back down to London, and she will be lying in state. So her coffin will be flown from Scotland to London. She will then go to Buckingham Palace. Then there'll be a big procession throughout the streets of London, which will be a horse-drawn carriage. There'll be gun salutes, and I'm sure the streets of London are going to be absolutely filled with people. She will then lie in state at Westminster Hall for 4 days for the public to be able to go and grieve and mourn for her. And then she will be transferred via gun carriage, the service will be televised, and she will be finally laid to rest at King George VI Memorial Chapel alongside her mum, her dad, and also they're going to move Philip to be with her.
Really? Wow.
So he wasn't allowed to be buried amongst them until she had sadly passed away, but now they'll all finally be reunited, which I think is going to be very moving, to say the least.
That is incredible, because I just have to say, they were married for, I also think, 73 years. What an incredible thing to be reunited with Philip. As we said, Queen Elizabeth was the longest-serving British monarch in history. She took the throne in 1952 when her father, King George, died. She was just 25 years old. I just want you you to talk about the things that she saw in her life as a queen and all the changes over the past 70 years. It's what? She's met 13 out of 14 presidents, 15 prime ministers.
She's worked with. 15,
she's worked with, right. And she just signed in a 15th prime minister like 2 days ago.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you feel about the length of that and the constant North Star she represented?
Oh my gosh. Well, you've got to think, Tori, literally, she has led our generation. We'll probably never see a longer reigning monarch as this. She's the longest reigning monarch in British history.
Yeah.
The things she has done during that time is simply outstanding. She was there in World War II getting her hands dirty as a mechanic. She got right on in there. Like you said, when she was crowned and coronated, she was only in her 20s. And think back then, over 70 years ago, women didn't have the rights and respect. We're still fighting for equal rights now. So can you imagine having to lead a country full of a huge parliament with Winston Churchill going against him, like sometimes in war?
Absolutely.
Having your opinions heard and giving it value, it's amazing. She was there for the first man landing on the moon. She's got us through the pandemic. I mean, what an amazing woman, and always putting her country first above everything. I mean, she is literally a beacon of light. She was our constant.
Yeah.
When the world has changed so much, before social media, before even television, she televised her coronation, which had never happened before. Everything has changed apart from her. I have never known another queen in my lifetime. You made a point yesterday, Tori. America is just over 200 years old. For nearly over half of the time, well, almost half the time that America's even existed, she's been ruling our country.
More than a fourth of the time U.S. has existed.
It's amazing. It's amazing. You can't even. She was there when the Berlin Wall came down.
Yeah.
I mean.
And without controversy, mostly, right? Besides her wardrobe choices.
She is known for her love of fashion, for sure.
And her hat, yes. That's
her hat, her gloves. She's got her own handbag that she proudly wore, which was really cool. But no, without controversy, because she literally kept her beliefs personal, and she did what was best for the country.
Yeah.
And that is something we all take for granted.
Yeah.
And it just shows her dedication and her service to what's best for millions of people, not just herself.
Yeah, I can feel the emotion. Thank you so much for that. It's really fascinating. Speaking of what Jeff said, after 70 years on the throne, you better believe the Queen also saw her fair share of scandals. Maybe she wasn't part of them, but she saw them, right? The Queen's favorite son, Andrew.
Ooh.
Yeah, I knew we were going to get that. Was dragged into a sex abuse scandal recently, which he tried to explain in
dragged into?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Or
stepped into it.
Stepped into fair. He tried to explain in a bizarre BBC interview that did not go so well for him. The Queen booted him from all royal duties amid the backlash. And I heard he was her favorite, so that was pretty rough. Then there was the tumultuous relationship of then Prince Charles and Princess Diana, whose marriage famously ended after his affair with Camilla. And of course, the Queen was also accused of being out of touch following Princess Di's tragic death. Finally, there's the whole Megxit controversy, where the Queen's grandson, Prince Harry, and his wife, Meghan Markle, decided in early 2020 to leave senior royal life behind them and head for the States. There were also accusations of racism from members of the royal family. So, Steph, how do you think the Queen handled all of this? We didn't even mention Fergie. Remember the whole Fergie situation? That was a whole thing. Talk to me about how you felt she stayed.
I think she remained, like I said, a constant, always positive, and I think she did the right thing. And she didn't let her personal emotions ever get in the way of what was right. I think she handled it all with decorum and grace, which I think a lot of people simply do not have and to that standard anymore. And I think she did a fantastic job. I don't think we should even be discussing the scandal. We should be remembering her legacy.
Fair.
This isn't to be talking about Andrew and Harry and what's going on with Meghan. This is a woman that's led an extraordinary life. We should be remembering her, not dragging up any bit of tabloid fodder right now. We should be in respect and commemorating her.
Absolutely. Steph, very well said. And again, we can't thank you enough for your insight and also just your personal touch about this. Coming up, we're continuing to remember Queen Elizabeth and where do William and Harry stand in the royal line of succession. And as we go to break, like Steph just said, here's Queen Elizabeth II in her own words.
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and to the service of our great imperial family to which we all belong.
I cannot lead you into battle. I do not give you laws or administer justice. But I can do something else. I can give you my heart. But it is my hope that when judged by future generations, our sincerity, our willingness to take a lead, and our determination to do the right thing will stand the test of time.
Closed captioning provided by
Hey, just stopping by to say we're taking over. We're made of this. We're taking over. You know what time it is. We're taking over.
That's a good point.
I was just saying I appreciated Steph's point because I even was saying yesterday you saw a lot of people saying, but like, you know, the history of England and it's like, but can we just give this lady a minute, like a breath? She just passed away, her family's mourning. You just like embrace the life and talk about the life, because there were days as far as last week where you could have talked about any scandal, wrote a whole op-ed piece about it if you were interested, but the day somebody dies is, to me, an interesting time to choose to dig up everything about their life.
I totally agree. I agree. As soon as we started talking about Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein or whatever, I was like, this doesn't feel right because of the respect for Her Majesty and of what she did. And also the breadth and scope to go nail it down to scandals feels weird, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's
you said it.
Yeah, I think it's just so inappropriate and
Yeah, but we
disrespectful.
live in like a tabloid culture, so immediately, even if like, you know, our show is not gonna, that's not gonna be the headline, and like a lot of other news shows that wasn't the headline, but you can't really stop it now. That's the
machine has
age
started.
that we live in. That is just Twitter is doing its own thing, and so that's the kind of.
I hope England does
That's the
it.
negative and the positive about having access to information immediately, because the people giving it to you could just be vultures.
And they can curate it whichever way they want, right? I think it's interesting too. People think, oh, America, 1776. They had their first king, William the Conqueror, in 1066. So that's the year 1000. I can't even that's like near 900. That's Middle Ages.
But I was also, I was thinking about how, like, just on a human level, how tough it must be if your family member has a rift with someone who's an elder in your family.
Oh, God.
And so Harry has a family with Meghan, and then his family.
He's two
obviously-
units.
But his grandma's passing, so it's like, people are like, how could he not bring Meghan? It's like, but that's my grandma.
I know.
So what do you do?
You called her
it's like a weird
grand?
situation.
I know.
It's like,
DBL is kicking off our season 6 premiere with the one and only Jerry Springer. Live on the panel as our special guest co-host, September 12th and 13th on DBL. Welcome back. So today marks the first full day of King Charles's reign in Britain. Here is the third King Charles III. The other two before him were both viewed by historians as not very good monarchs, to say it kindly. His wife Camilla, as we mentioned, is now the Queen Consort. The line of succession to the throne has also changed, with Prince William first in line, followed, of course, by his 3 children, and then his brother Harry and his 2 children. William and Kate are also getting new titles. They are now the Duke and Duchess of Cornwall and Cambridge. It is expected the king will give them the Prince and Princess of Wales title at some point. So, Steph, talk to me about, I've been thinking about this nonstop because the Queen we know so well. What do you think Charles will be like? Seeing him get out there and touch those people shocked me, because I thought of him as more of a stiff upper lip.
Well, I think obviously he's got a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
But he has learned from the best. He has lived this life, his entire life. He's been preparing for this moment. And I think the fact that his mother passed away yesterday and he is back in London greeting people on what I am sure is the hardest day of his life. He's woken up this morning without his mother and he has put his people first. If that doesn't say what kind of king he's going to be, I really don't know what else will. I am so proud of him.
Yeah, right.
As a British citizen, I am so proud, and he's done it with such grace.
Yeah.
And dignity.
It was nice to see that.
He's going to be incredible.
and you talk about putting yourself last when you take that role.
Exactly.
Like, he already did that in day one of his reigning. So
Absolutely.
But there also is a lot of pressure to modernize the monarchy. So do you think that King Charles will be able to usher the royal family into a more modern era, whatever that looks like for 2022 and beyond?
You know, obviously Charles has grown up. He's seen what has worked for his mother, the Queen. He's seen what the people respond to. And I think he's already started to do that. So when we look at the the Jubilee that was only a few months ago, he addressed the people so well, and I think everyone was really taken by him.
Totally.
And I think it was such a brilliant platform. We got to see a bit of his personality.
Very surprising, yeah.
And he has been in his mother's shadow, rightfully so, until this point. So I'm excited for what he's going to bring, and I think he's going to be fantastic.
Oh man, that's exciting, because I was hoping don't let it be like cold, you know, and be warm.
No, I think he's going to be warm, and we've seen glimpses of it.
Yeah,
we've seen glimpses of it.
I'm happy about that. Now, the Queen was also famous, Steph, for being an animal lover, which I absolutely love. For years and years, the Queen had corgis, and there are questions now about who is going to look after her 4 dogs. The Queen also loved horses and has been breeding and raising the animals for her entire life after inheriting the hobby from her father, King George. There are stables at each of her royal residences. So, Steph, what do we know about what will happen to her beloved animals? She was also obsessed with cows.
She was.
She loved cows.
She was. I think she was an animal lover at heart, and we can see that throughout her numerous pictures and videos and going to various events. I know the event in particular we're talking about, they were her cows that she had raised. She was very excited about that. But I think, you know, and we've had these horrible rumours, which I just want to quash. Nothing's going to happen to the dogs, the corgis. There's all these silly things online saying, are they going to be put down? No, people. Use your common sense. This is an animal lover at their finest. They obviously have been raised in a wonderful environment. They've got carers. The horses are already at the stables. I'm sure it will just go to the estate, and the people that look after them day to day will continue to do so.
Fantastic. That's so good to hear. And we are thinking of people in Britain and the Commonwealth all over. Coming up on DBL, speculation is swirling about how Queen Elizabeth died. Dr. Coley is here. She's going to break it all down. That is coming up next. Look at her.
According to the National Consumer Law Center, a leading cause of bankruptcy in the U.S. is medical debt. They say surprise medical bills from out-of-network doctors play a big role in this issue. A viral TikTok claims that hospitals are legally required to provide an itemized bill, which is a line-by-line breakdown of all medical services and their costs if a patient requests one. These detailed bills allow patients to check for and contest duplicate or erroneous charges. But this claim needs context. Using these sources, let me walk you through what is and isn't required when it comes to hospital bills. There is no federal legal requirement that hospitals provide an itemized bill upon request like that viral video implies, except when it comes to Medicare patients. They have that right regardless of location, according to the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. As for everyone else, well, about half of states have laws on the books that give patients the right to receive a copy of an itemized bill from a hospital upon request. In the other states, hospital systems can set their own policies about providing itemized bills. And if they don't have a policy, our experts warn hospitals could refuse to provide you with one. Patient advocacy expert Anne-Marie Quintagli-McElwain says patients should find out if their state has a patient's bill of rights, which is a document that explains how people can reasonably expect to be treated during their hospital stay, including whether or not they're entitled to an itemized bill. What is required nationwide is that hospitals provide a good faith estimate of all costs in advance to medical care for uninsured patients and those paying out of pocket. This is because of the No Surprises Act that went into effect in January. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
Welcome back. Queen Elizabeth's cause of death actually has not yet been confirmed, but she was dealing with certain health issues leading up to her death. So we have Dr. Coley here. Thank you so much for being here to talk to us about what her health was like leading up to her passing.
You know, 96 years old, and she was remarkably healthy, actually, until last year, I would say. So she was in the hospital last October. We don't exactly know why she was admitted to the hospital, but spent an overnight there. But prior to that, actually hadn't been in the hospital since 2013. And that was for a stomach bug. And then before that wasn't until 2003 when she had knee surgery.
Wow.
So like once a decade or so, but remarkably good health. And as Steph might tell us, she actually had a team of doctors. There was a doctor to the Queen, but a team of doctors who were on call 24/7, sort of attending to her issues all the time. And I think that was a big part of it.
Wow.
All right, so Doc, in February, the Queen had COVID and barely was seen in public until May. So do we know how COVID affected the Queen's health? Did it have any anything to do with what happened?
You know, that would be speculation, but I think at 96, to have any kind of an illness, especially something like COVID, can knock you off your feet. We do know that the Queen actually had to abstain from family Christmas a few years ago because she had a cold. We also know that after she had COVID, she actually publicly said she was extremely tired and exhausted. And after COVID is when we really saw her kind of walking with that cane, and her doctor said that she had some mobility issues. So again, it would be speculating, but I do know that COVID at 96 can really do a number on you, even if it was that Omicron variant. Now, presumably she was vaccinated, and that's why, thankfully, she didn't need hospitalization for that.
Okay, Dr. Coley, let's switch gears here a little bit. So if you notice, we're all wearing some version of teal, kind of, for Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. Dr. Coley, what are the signs and symptoms of ovarian cancer?
Yeah, this is a tough one, guys, because 3 out of 4 ovarian cancers, when they're diagnosed, have already spread beyond the ovary. And so I'm really glad we're talking about it. I'm glad we're wearing teal. Mine is the earrings.
Nice.
Thank you. But, you know, essentially, a woman's pelvis is designed to hold a baby, right? So you can grow a mass in there and not realize it, have no change in your abdominal curvature, have no change in anything, because it's meant to fill up with a baby. So we as women, I think, really need to keep our guard up on symptoms of anything pushing on the other organs. So I'm talking about changes in your bowel habits, bloating, flatulence, change in your stool, change in your appetite, weight loss. But you can even have bladder symptoms like having to go to the bathroom to pee much more often.
Dr. Coley, when you're talking about all of these symptoms, as a woman with our cycles, we can get those and not even know about them. So what age should we be screened for ovarian cancer, or what types of people, what age,
And how do we screen?
Yeah, and how do we screen?
Is it going to see your OBGYN once a year? Is that good enough?
Excellent question. We don't screen. The average risk woman should not be screened, because ovarian cancer is pretty rare cancer. And if we start screening all of us guys with our cycles every month, we're going to get more false positives or fake outs, because the ovaries make cysts and they ovulate. And so we'll actually end up getting more wrong answers than correct ones. So the only women that do need to be screened are the high risk ones. These are the ones that have a genetic history, like BRCA1 or 2 gene carriers. They've had a family history, or they've had radiation or something to the pelvis. And they would be screened with ultrasounds, transvaginal ultrasounds, and with a blood test that ovarian cancer releases called CA125.
Wow. My dearest Aunt Peggy died of ovarian cancer, and she's always around. You know, when you have guardian angels, she's the one I always see the most. I just saw her son last night. And I said, this is for Peggy. So I appreciate you and hope we can screen more people and get educated. Thank you for providing all this information. If you all have a question you'd like Dr. Coley to answer, don't be embarrassed at all. Write us on social media or email to info@dailyblastlive.com. Thanks, Doc. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Well, it looks like more September is finally here for Sheree. Also, there's a new show on my watch list, and Janet Jackson surprises a major fan in this week's What Erica's Watching. Now first, Atlanta housewife Sheree finally debuted her fashions during the season 14 finale.
It started late, but it was worth the wait.
Bring on the fashions, darling. Now, the lady seemed quite impressed, but she also received some shady reviews. Sheree is being accused of stealing looks from the budget-friendly online retailer Shein. So is it She by Sheree or Shein by Sheree? Sis, send me a couple samples and let me be the judge. Next, Issa Rae returned to HBO. Now, if you haven't seen her new show, it's about female rappers. It's called Rap
Attention!
Let's go!
I want to try something different.
This could change our lives.
Maybe some private jets. Some lobster. Who here like lobster? Speak up, speak up.
Obviously, I'm a huge fan. Now, the finale is here, and I suggest you binge the season because a second season likely is on the way. Now, Brandy and Eve's rap musical queen didn't make it to a season 2. Quite a shame. So don't miss out on these ladies, okay? Finally, Finally, fans don't want to say goodbye to Tiana Taylor during her final Rose tour. Last year, the young performer announced she was retiring as a recording artist, but her idol Janet Jackson was one of the first to tell her to hold on. And recently, Janet even surprised her during one of her last shows. Share with me anything that catches your eye by using the hashtag DBLEricaWatch. We'll be right back.
Starbucks is the world's largest coffee chain, filling more than 100 million orders every week. A viral Twitter post with more than 25,000 likes claims Starbucks will soon be passing on the buck, with its stores soon going cashless. The post prompted some people on social media to say they'll boycott the chain if that happens. Verify viewer Mel emailed us to ask if the rumors are true. So Mel, let's verify. Are all Starbucks stores going cashless? Our sources are Starbucks and the Federal Reserve. The original Twitter post was from a British political commentator and included a photograph from a Starbucks in the UK. Starbucks UK tweeted in response to the criticism that all of its stores are not going cashless, although some locations that license the Starbucks brand may decide to stop accepting cash on an individual basis. Verify also contacted Starbucks worldwide headquarters in Seattle, which told us, quote, Starbucks has no plans to go cashless across our UK, US, or Canada stores, and we want to shut down any inaccuracies or further speculation on this matter, unquote. So, no, all Starbucks stores are not going cashless, although at least one location in the UK is. The Federal Reserve says in the US, there is no federal law that prohibits businesses from going cashless. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
No time to run, no games. Your time has come today. Just stopping by to say we're taking over. We're made for this. We're taking over. You know what time it is. We're taking over. We're made to pay.
DBL is all new every day.
Say what we're made for.
I want to wake up to that.
I'd say that was quite a jazzy little intro, wasn't it?
The ditty looks fantastic. I do want to give a comment from Bonnie. Bonnie wrote in and said, I just started tuning into Daily Blast Live. Welcome. And I totally love it. All of your topics are so interesting and informative. I just wanted you to know how much I like the show.
Oh, thanks, Bonnie.
Bonnie, we like you.
Maybe that's my Aunt Bonnie.
Oh.
No, I don't know. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I know, I'm like, my mom, Judy Bonnie? Let's find out. All right, well, thank you, Bonnie, and thank you to all the viewers watching. DBL is new every single day. We will see you next week. And if you are a Canadian citizen or a British citizen or a United Kingdom citizen, we wish you our condolences for today. Thanks, guys.